escapes. So we're gonna escape and we're gonna defend in Al has the outside Ashi. The difference with this would be my foot's on the outside here. If I bring my foot all the way across, now we're in this 50-50, right? So this is the difference between the two positions. This would be 50-50. We both have equal play, both have equal ability to attack. And when it switches to this side, Al has a little bit more of an ability to attack because my foot is more exposed. He can sort of hide these feet and wrap it around. So my ability to really counterattack is sort of gone on this side, right? In the outside Ashi, Al's two big attacks are the straight foot lock or the outside heel. Okay, so you can switch the grip to the outside heel. So what we're gonna look at first is when we're in the position and sort of how we can escape before the grip's established, and then we'll look at after the grip's established. All right, so when Al ends up in this position, the big thing with the outside Ashi is that he doesn't have his top knee as able to block my body as with some of the other positions. So if we're like in 50-50 and I try to stand, Al can knock me back over, or if he was in the saddle and I tried to come in, this knee can really block or go to the back to the outside. Or if he's even going like single leg X, like this from the inside, right? This gives me a little bit more, gives him a little bit more ability to block me from coming back inside. But when he's on the outside Ashi and both legs are on the outside, I can come in a little bit more to help defend. And I'm gonna do, just like we do when we're defending the straight foot lock from the single leg X, I want this foot as deep as possible, and I almost want it wrapped around his body. I want to hide it. I don't want to give him the ability to attack it. Ideally, I'd like to put my foot flat on the mat like we talked about last week and sort of use the ground as a barrier so he can't extend. If Al's on either side, if he's on his side here, he can start threatening the straight foot lock, or if he's on his side this way, this heel starts getting exposed and you start attacking the heel. My safest position is if we're here and he's sort of flat, like in a neutral position, put my foot flat on the ground so he can't really attack it, and I can start coming in and keeping him close to me. Ideally, I want to stand up from here, and now my foot's flat on the ground and he can't really attack. This is sort of similar to what we worked on last week when we were standing up. If you saw my previous video.
I do watch it on YouTube.
You should. So once I've stood, I'm keeping everything nice and tight. Again, foot's flat. I can start putting pressure in, and now I can start shucking these legs off and looking to pass. So now we missed the ability to defend before he establishes grip, so now he's gonna start threatening. So we're gonna look for a straight foot lock, okay? The straight foot lock defense from here is very similar to what we've done in the single leg X, and it's very similar to what we just did without the grip. I wanna bring everything nice and tight, and I wanna put my foot as deep as I can to take away his ability to finish. Again, my ideal position for my foot is deep so he can't extend, and then I'd like to put it flat to the mat as I stand up. If I can get all the way stood up and my foot's flat, he can't extend all the way to finish. What I need to be careful of is, again, like we talked about, if he rocks me back over, now I'm falling right into it. I'm just gonna repeat the process. Keep everything nice and tight. Put my foot as deep as I can. I can use a hand to help base and push. Start to stand up, turning my foot flat to the mat so he can't extend. Repeat the process we just did, shuck the legs by, okay? If he starts attacking the outside heel hook, right? From here, we know what's gonna happen. He's gonna try to rotate the bottom, and it's very similar to what we did last week. I wanna try to rotate with that, right? He wants my top leg to stay still, bottom leg to rotate. He wants to finish by extending this way, so I'm gonna rotate with him to keep the top part of my leg moving, and eventually I'm gonna start coming back into stack. If I can, when he starts establishing the grip, my goal would be to hand fight. If he can't connect his hands, it's hard for him to finish, and I can sometimes free my foot, but it's gonna be difficult. If I get here, I defend the hands, I don't let him connect, do the same thing I just did. Foot flat, start coming in, looking to stand. If I miss this, and he starts establishing the grip, and he's starting to work for the finish, then my usual weekly disclaimer you should probably just have from here. If you're Al, you should just assume you got it, but if he wants to rotate, I'm gonna rotate with it and immediately stack. Still in danger here. Grip's still established, he can still finish from here. I'd like to reach back, again, hand fight, free my foot. Same thing, I'm turning in, looking for my pass. When I'm here, now lock your grip up again for me. When I'm here, right, I'm stacking so he can't extend me away. Come back again. I need to do a lot of things simultaneously. When the grip is established, starts to finish. I'm turning away, stacking, 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 and reaching back to look for the hands. As I'm pulling the hands, I'm looking to rotate my foot out of his grip, pressure. We go with that? Let's do it.